Join me today as we look at part 2 of this series. We gotta fix it. That's right, we're gonna take this figure, which comes in the box, ready to go, except for it needs updated, fixed, and corrected. Why? Everything in this line so far. Everything? Just 2 things. Anyway, looking at the front of the box, you got nice figure shot along with another figure shot. Kind of looks more manga or anime looking. Back of the box, you got some figure shots in action. If you want yours, I will leave a link down in the description to grab one. Let's slide this thing out of the box. We got, oh, this is actually not doing the whole instructions on the inside. We actually went a little more rare these days where there's a card in the back with an instruction sheet under it. So let's take a gander with our eyeballs upon ye old paper. So we got multiple hand options. We've got instructions that explain what these arrows are supposed to do. So you got swappable bits, glasses, okay, fun. And back of it says, hey, may rub off, which is not uncommon. We see that all the time. Here's basically a list of everything that's in there. And you should be able to figure this stuff out. It's all pretty straightforward for this guy. Well, let's see if that's true, because I say that sometimes about instructions and then immediately need them. Lots of plastic protecting this guy, just like we saw with Momo, so that's good. Also, like we saw with Momo, all the hands in a little case. Is that right? She was like that too? And as previously mentioned in the Momo video, I would really like to have him in his base form. I hope we at least can get an acknowledgement that they're gonna do that. Depending on how you feel about this figure by the end of this video or at any point during this video, don't worry. This is SHFiguarts, but we also have it coming from Figma and Reveltech. So we're gonna have 3 options for this guy. It's crazy. Let's get into it though. We got a lot to look at. So we have some alternate face plates, brow furled, looking good. The sculpt is nice. The paint is great for the application used here. Up next, we get this one, which is kind of depressed Okarun or Okarun. Well, you know, some people comment about the way I say DanDaDan, but you could say it DanDaDan, which is technically correct, but Okarun is wrong. You don't say R's. Anyway, it's like I get defensive and then make fun of you. I don't know. This one, which, you know, the sculpt in the mouth, I feel like should be deeper. And we've seen that with SHFiguarts where they put the depth in there and it really sells it, but this is not really selling it. But it's an alternate face. I'm happy to have it. Kind of a shocked face. Then you get this one, which is the eyes to the left. And, you know, just kind of a serious look. It's fine. The face that's on there by default is just this kind of neutral one. It's a little boring, but it's fine, I guess. I would love to have more exaggerated stuff. We do have a pair of glasses in there, which I love. Come on, we gotta have. It's the only way he's gonna look cool is when these are on. Why would I think that? I don't know if this works on any faceplate or if it's only this one. We'll find out. Then we get a couple setup options here for his lower jaw bit with all the teeth looking cool. The paint looks nice. This gradient is working really well. The fine detail sculpt of all of the teeth. And then you can do the half setup where the teeth are a little bit jagged. But it looks good. So this will just go on one side of his face and these lock in just with that's it. One way to do it. So even if you do the full face, you can't lock in both sides, which seems like a wild choice. With the hand options, we got some punching hands or fists. I don't know why I always say punching hands. It could just be fists. And then I say the same thing every single time. It's like, just stick with it. Then you get this one, which is kind of a, I don't know, like a clawing attack hand. It looks pretty good, or just like his resting stance hand. And then this, which is obviously a key blast. I mean, this looks just like the stuff you get with Dragon Ball, but I don't know, maybe it's like a running thing or jumping over something. I don't know. At least there's options, so I'm not gonna complain about hands. That's great. I love having a wide range. And then you get this one with the fingers bent in a very specific way, which is maybe like his kind of crouching on the ground thing. This looks great. And then you get this right hand by itself. It's the only setup, so there's no left option, but it's gonna be for him doing that. Except for he doesn't talk like that now. He talks really cool, because he's just like, whatever, man. Hands on by default are these, which are kind of also relaxed. So you get a lot of this kind of grippy, clawy hand, but they're just a little bit different with the way the fingers are set up. Whatever, love it. Let's look at the details of this guy. So talking about the colors are working really well for this guy. I mean, the hair looks good. There's like some gradient paint going on. It's like very lightly done, but there's like some depth to that. It's not just a pure off-white. All the paint around the collar, the gradient work there is really, really nice. Now this is a figure that I don't know if it would benefit from it, but how great would it be to have like this to be soft goods with a wire in there so that you could sculpt all that. That would be really nice. And then, is it possible to do that too? Maybe not. I'm sure there's limitations. The upgrade for this guy is going to be vastly different from the way we upgraded Momo, which is going from this to this. And this is just one of the many options, and there's still going to be a part 2. I know people are asking about it, but all of the outfit options, there's tons, but there's a lot of stuff I'm waiting on, so we just all have to be patient. And that's hard, because I might be more impatient than you on that. Yes, I have 2 of them, because we're doing a lot of custom work. Don't worry about it. Anyway, continuing the conversation, I guess. It's so distracted. We've got all the buttons. We've got the belt buckle. So the paint work is good. It's very clean. The line work is clean. The gradient work is really nice. And then he's got his demon colors. So cool. I am worried about the articulation though, because obviously this is going to hinder some of the head movement range, but he looks down way more than anybody should. So that's good. He does look up really well. That's good. We definitely want him to be able to look up higher because of his more iconic poses. Shoulders are going up pretty well, and I wonder, are these more manga accurate or cartoon accurate, or a combination of the two? Because her earrings have the aliens, which is more manga. I don't know. They could explain that they just got all of this really early and we're trying to be the first to get it out the door. Distracted again. Arms can cross, which is nice to see those butterfly joints doing their job, because look at how cut up they are. Kind of like Momo, we got a lot of strange cuts, but at least his is doing the work. We have rotation up there at the shoulders, like a ball joint. Double jointed elbows, which have great range. And then ball pegs for the wrists. The body articulation, let's see what we got there. I think this is the part that we have to fix, okay? Whatever's happening in there, look at how he resets. You push him forward and then he just pops back. And then leaning back is also not great. Side to side, let's see. Yeah, also not great. We got some waist action there. It's like a ball joint, which leans back really well, but doesn't go forward that much. Which again, I mean, if you want this guy in a crouching pose, it's just not really gonna happen. Legs go out, great articulation there. Upper thighs have that swivel. Double jointed knees, which are probably good enough. It would be nice to go a little further than that. And then standard ankles. No, I say standard ankles, but they're not standard at all. They're just very simple ball pegs. It's a really weird choice. Why would you do that? And toe articulation. So I do have a fear that these ankles will just kind of loosen up over time because it's just a simple design. So if you're trying to get him in like some good poses, like it just got kicked across the map, it's not, that's not very good. He can go back really well though. So maybe he got kicked in the back. So if you don't want to modify yours, that's what you got to expect. There's just extreme limitations on some of these joints where they need to be not limited. What? All right, let's find out how these face parts work. So the glasses, I hope it goes on to any of them, but I'm not certain yet. Just be sure you put the glasses on the right way. The nose piece should be on the more shallow side, or the lower, what? It should be lower on the face side. Remove the bangs, put the bangs back on, and there you go. They're locked in enough. If you put the nose piece on the lower side, it doesn't really rattle around. If you do it the other way around, it's gonna have some play in it. And the glasses work on any of the faces, so that makes me happy. Oh, the things that make us happy. And if we want to get his lower jaw face stuff on, you got to remove this tiny little section of his hair right there. So a nice tiny little piece that's annoying to put back in, but easy to lose. There is barely any strength based on the pressure of this point. It needs to be deeper or something. It barely hangs on there. It's very annoying, and you have to line it up perfectly. Now this one stays on more because it's using the pressure of both sides, so that's okay, but the single one is a big issue. So trying to get him in his more kind of iconic crouching pose is not great. It could definitely be better, and that is why we are going to try to fix it. And I'll do that after this. But I gotta do the review, fix it, and then do more poses, I think. Ugh. But there's that, and then obviously if you wanted to do you know, some iconic stuff again with like her riding on the back of him. It doesn't really work because she sucks. Stupid. She just doesn't have the range. It's so bad. These fixed versions, the only problem there really is that she's just taller than she should be. But you get all the articulation you could possibly want. Whatever. Let's move on, shall we? With him fully stood up, he does essentially tower over her, which is good. These customized versions, she is taller, but it kind of makes them roughly the same size, so it works. It's good enough, I think. To do this modification, as you can see, we're gonna need some knives. So we're gonna have to like really go hard at carving this piece out, but it desperately needs it. And now I have this much range compared to what we had earlier. Maybe I need to put this side by side, but there's a huge upgrade. If you want to learn how to do this modification, then click the link down in the description or at the end of this video to go check it out on my other channel. Anyway, overall, is it worth grabbing? I mean, it's the only thing on the market right now that you can have in your possession, and it's pretty good. My complaints are ultimately small, and in comparison, he's substantially more enjoyable to use than she is. And I think if you don't want to customize it, it's still good enough. But there you have it, folks. Is this something you're grabbing? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to see the Momo review and upgrade, then click the top link there. And if you want to see this Okarun get the actual modification, then click the bottom link. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.